If you do not have capacity to execute all of those things I've mentioned may amount to almost nothing. So what am I saying? It's high time we began to build capacity. I went from making $24 in my first 11 months as an online entrepreneur to earning over $4,000 in 7 months.
It was one of the lessons I learned that was really touching. You are the only constant thing you have.
So the first step to becoming extraordinary is to develop coping skills. Quality and creative educational system can be accountable.
Follow the path of least resistance. This is what many people don't understand. If this influencer is known on Facebook, don't send them a message on Facebook, they won't see it.
Guys, we are back. Welcome back to the second section of today's webinar. If you're excited to be here, I want to see you shout, want to type something in the comment section. Wow. Punctual to this webinar. Welcome once again. Okay, who else is online? If you can hear me, type something in the chat box. You can show me your dancing shoes or your favorite emoji or whichever one you prefer. Okay, Olivia Onosike, you're highly welcome. Doherty, you're welcome also. Okay, who else is here with us? All right, guys, I'm sure you got massive value from Sir Soyinka's what's it called section. So right now we'll be welcoming on stage our very own speaker for the second section. You don't want to miss out his teaching, trust me. And if you're on Instagram and you don't know him, if you're on Instagram and you don't see his content or you don't consume his content, then trust me, you're missing out a lot. You're missing out a lot. So let's make welcome our second speaker for tonight. He's here already. He's in the backstage. He's here to dish out massive value. And if you don't have your biro and your pen, go get yours. Those are mine. Okay, he's here, the content grandmaster.
Thank you very
welcome.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this. I do not take it for granted.
The stage is all yours.
Awesome. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please put it in the comments box. Let me know so that we can go. We don't have time to waste. So if you can hear me, put it in the comment box so that we can start. Oh, thank you, Obin Udon. Awesome. Mommy Fioma, thank you very much. Welcome. 2 more persons and then we move. 2 more persons and then we move. Waiting for 2 more persons. Wow, Olivia, welcome. Yeah, awesome. Let's go ahead. Let's start. I'm very excited to be here. Very excited. Like, I'm very happy. First of all, before we go into what we have for tonight, I want to appreciate the hosts, the team, and everyone who has contributed to the success of this conference, Celebrate Conference 2. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I am very grateful. All right, so I also want to acknowledge the input of the speakers who have spoken before me, Sani Shoyinka, Sataz, Mam Veralyn, Sir Zim Simon. That was awesome. Thanks for the massive value dished out. If that's the only thing we do in this conference, it's more than enough. Thank you very much. And also to the speakers that are going to be speaking after me. Thank you. I know you are going to be dishing out nothing short of awesome value. I really appreciate. And to you, the viewer, to you who has been following this conference as it started yesterday, Thank you. You are the real deal. I can assure you that your 2022 is secured. Your 2022 is secured. If you can just put to practice and implement everything you're going to be learning from this conference, your 2022 is secured. Thank you very much, Mr. Moses. Thank you very much. All right. So before me this evening, we are going to be talking on a subject I am so passionate about, on a subject I love talking about. Like I can spend the whole day talking about this subject, and I can assure you that by the end of this session, you are going to be gaining massive value. I'm going to be opening your eyes to some of the things you need to put into consideration if you want to sell more this period, this December, and ultimately and eventually in 2022. All right, so tonight I'm going to be talking on skyrocketing your sales through content marketing. Skyrocketing your sales through content marketing. Yesterday we did a new approach to creating content that sells by Mam Veralin. It was an awesome session. It was an awesome session. So today, skyrocketing your sales through content marketing. When we say something is skyrocketing, it means it's it's increasing exponentially. You understand? It's being shot to the moon. That is the rate at which it's increasing is very fast, it's very high. And when we talk about sales, sales means traction. Sales means you getting a reward for a product or a service you render. I will now talk about content marketing. We'll talk about content marketing. Let's talk about content first. Content means any information that you can find on the online space, any information whatsoever. I think I need to say this. I've been drumming it, and I feel you should know, but then I'm still going to talk about it. That when we talk about content, we are not talking about writing. There's a difference between content and writing. You understand? So content is any valuable information you find on the online space. Content is what is any valuable information you find on the online space. So be it written content, be it video, be it audio, be it graphics, be it infographics, be it whatever it is that you find on the online space is what is called content. Understand? And I need you to know that when we talk about content, there are different forms of content. So this is where we have content writing, which everybody knows. Content writing is you creating your content using the text format. We have audio form of content. Now we're talking about podcast, we're talking about music, we're talking about songs, we're talking about anything, any message or any information passed across in the audio format. That's the audio form of content. We have the graphical form of content or the visual form of content, which is the graphic design you see on the online space, the flyers, the logos, the infographics, the carousels, and all of that. And then we have the audio visual form of content or the motion form of content, which is this live webinar we are doing, video form of content, and all of that. So that is what content is. So now what do we call marketing? Marketing is every effort you put in your business to ensure that your product or your services is known by people or is known to people. So every effort you put into ensuring that your products and services get to the face of people, that who you are and what you do get to the face of people, is what we call marketing. So now, what is content marketing? Content marketing is the efforts. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please signify. Please signify if you can hear me. Awesome. Can you hear me? All right, guys. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. My network went off for a while. So when we talk about content marketing, it is the effort you use, like you using content to ensure that your product and services get across to a lot of persons on the online space. So now, talking about content marketing, can you actually skyrocket your sales through content marketing? Is it possible for you to 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, 100x your sales in 2022 because of content? The answer, the simple answer to that is yes. It is very possible. It is very possible. It's as possible as tomorrow. It's very possible. Understand? So how then can you skyrocket your sales through content marketing? How can you skyrocket your sales to content marketing? You see, I need you to understand this, that before you say that you want to skyrocket your sales through content marketing, before you say you want to skyrocket your sales through content marketing, there are some things that you need to put into consideration. There are some things that you need to put into consideration, and I'm going to be talking about those three things. But before I do that, can you give me a moment to get my lightning? I think the lightning went off. A moment, please.
If you do not have capacity to execute all of those things I've mentioned may amount to almost nothing. So what am I saying? It's high time we began to build capacity.
I went from making $24 in my first 11 months as an online entrepreneur to earning over $4,000 in 7 months.
It was one of the lessons I learned that was really, really, really touching. You are the only constant thing you have.
So the first step to becoming extraordinary is to develop coping skills.
Quality and creative educational system can be accountable.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry about that. So I said before you think of making sales or skyrocketing your skills leveraging content marketing, there are three important things you need to put into consideration. There are three very important things you need to put into consideration, and I'm going to be explaining those three things for you now. The first thing you need to put into consideration is know who you want to sell to. Know who you want to sell to. You see, all your marketing efforts, advertising, marketing, pitching, and all of that would not be fruitful. It will not be fruitful if you don't know who you want to sell to. It's just for an example now. You want to sell a power bank, and you're trying to sell a power bank to an old woman. You understand? The woman will just feel like what you are giving to her is very heavy. The woman don't know why. Understand? And that is not the kind of person you should be selling a power bank to. So it is important. The very first thing you need to put at the back of your mind is you need to know who you want to sell to. It is the knowledge of who you want to sell to that will help you to create a content marketing strategy around this knowledge that you've gotten so that you can skyrocket your sales. So let me come back again. It is the knowledge of who you want to sell to that will help you to effectively create a content marketing strategy that will help you to skyrocket your sales. So, for example, you want to sell torchlights. I don't know the person you want to sell torchlights to. How would you make sales? You won't. A lot of times, why we struggle to make sales is because we are selling the right product to the wrong audience. Imagine you're selling pure water to someone inside the rain, cold pure water to someone inside the rain. No, the person won't buy. Or imagine you're trying to sell hot water or hot tea to someone under a burning sun. The person will not buy from you. You see, a lot of times, why it seems like as if our content marketing strategy, our sales copy, our advertising, and all of that is not bringing results, is because we are selling the right product to the wrong audience. So when you don't know who you want to sell to, no matter how hard you create your content, no matter the kind of content, no matter what magic you want to perform, you will not make sales. So it is important to know who you want to sell to. And how do you know who you want to sell to? I teach this everywhere I get the opportunity. There are three factors in knowing who you want to sell to. Another word for who you want to sell to is your ideal buyer ideal buyer, ideal audience, buyer persona, whatever it is you want to call it, but it is the knowledge of who you want to sell to. So there are three things you must put into consideration for who you want to sell to. Number one, you must put the demographic factor. The demographic factor. Number two, the geographic factor. Number three, the psychographic or the physiographic factor. So number one, the demographic factor. Number two, the geographic factor. Number three, the psychographic factor. Now let me break it down. What do we mean by the demographic factor? The demographic factor is a function of the age of your ideal buyer. Imagine you trying to sell cigarettes to someone who is 10, 11 years old. You won't make sales. The only time you make sales is when the child's parents or uncles or some elderly person sends the person to come and buy cigarettes. Yes, sir. So you need to put the demographic. When we are talking about demographic, you are asking yourself that, okay, my ideal buyer, the people I want to buy from me, the people that needs the thing I have to offer, what is their age? You cannot be selling a multi-billion-dollar idea or a multi-billion-dollar consulting service to someone to a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old Nigerian. They will like you, they will respect you, but they cannot buy from you. So demographic factor, we're talking about your age, the income range of your audience. Except you want these people to steal, you will be doing yourself a disservice if you are trying to sell a 50,000 naira product to someone who is earning 15,000 naira per month. Except you want them to steal. So you need to put these things into consideration. What is their income range? What is their financial status? What is their academic status? What's their marital status? You see, a lot of times your copy would have sold the project, the services you want to sell. Your copy would have sold the product, just that the people you are selling to are married and they need to tell their husband about it. If you don't put this into consideration first, you will not be able to address that in your content or in your copy. You won't. So you need to ask yourself, what is their age range? What is their financial status? What is their income rate? What is their academic range? What's their marital status? That falls under the demographic factors. Under the what? Under the demographic factors. The second factor in knowing who you want to sell to is what I call the geographic factor. The geographic factor. Imagine you are selling a luxury car to someone staying in the village. Like you want to sell a luxury car of about 50 million naira, and you go to a small, a remote Yoruba village, and you are advertising a 50 million car. They will come out, they will shout, wow, they will say, this is nice, this is beautiful. Just the way people used to tell you on your content that this content is nice, this is awesome, I got value, and all of that. But they will not be able to afford it, they will not be able to buy it. So it takes you being in the right environment. It takes you knowing where your audience are for you to sell to them. So for example, I sell copywriting products. If I can find myself in a place where copywriters commune, if I can find myself in a group or on a platform or in a community whereby the only people there are copywriters, I would sell effortlessly. I just need to create a content that addresses their problems and all of that. Boom. So it takes you being in the right community, being on the right platform, being in the right environment of where your audience are for you to be able to sell out your product with content. So for example, your audience are found on Instagram. You'll be doing yourself a disservice if you go to TikTok. So for example, your audience are found on Twitter, but you say, no, Twitter is too local for me, I want to go to LinkedIn. You'll be doing yourself a disservice. Or for example, your audience are high-tech professionals. They are CEOs, they are all of that. And you're not joining Facebook groups. I'm not saying you can't find them there, but that's not where they are commune. They are commune where? On LinkedIn. So having an understanding of the right platform and the right community where the people you want to sell to will help to make your content marketing strategy very effective. I need you to understand I've not started giving any content marketing strategy. I'm just trying to tell you the things you need to put into place before you go ahead and sell. I'm trying to tell you the things you need to put in place before you say, okay, this is my content marketing strategy. So the geographic factors. The geographic factor talks about where your audience are coming, where they stay, where they get information from. Whenever they have problem, where do they run to? So which platform do they run to? You need to get all these set. You need to get all these right before you come up with a content marketing strategy. So the number 3 step to knowing who you want to sell to is the psychographic factors. Is the psychographic factors. What do I call the psychographic factors? I call them the mental factors that makes your audience buy. Now, let me explain. The reason someone who just got divorced wants to get married wants to get married again is different from the reason with where someone who is just who is just a teenager, you understand, wants to get married. So, for example, a teenager wants to get married because you want to the rave of the moment and all of that and all of that. Why someone who is divorced wants to get married to get security. So these two people, although they are looking for somebody to marry, but the reason they are looking for somebody to marry is different. Or let's take another example. Let's say I am making 50,000 naira in a month and I want to scale to 150,000 naira in a month. And there's another person that is making 1 million naira in a month and wants to scale to 5 million naira per month. Although we both want to scale our income, but the degree that person wants to scale their income with mine is different. So what motivates me is I don't want to go broke. What is motivating that person is I need more money to put in my investment portfolio. So the same, although we have the same focus, we have the same end goal, but the reason behind is different. Until you discover the reason why your audience wants to buy what you have to offer, until you discover the emotion behind why your audience wants to buy what you want to get, it will be hard for you to sell. So because people buy for different reasons. Some people buy to feel good. Honestly, some people buy to feel good. Imagine I'm using iPhone 12 and I upgraded to iPhone 13. I'm not buying because I want to save money. No, I'm not buying. I'm buying because I want it to increase my self-esteem. Some people buy to increase their self-esteem so that they can raise shoulder. And some people buy because they need money. Some people buy because they want to make money. Some people buy because they want to save more money. Some people buy because they want to save time. Some people buy because they want to just feel good. So people buy for different reasons. And until you are able to find the reason why your audience will buy from you, it will be hard for you to leverage the right, correct marketing strategy. Let me take that again. When we talk about content marketing, you're going to be creating content, which means you're going to be talking to your audience, whether through written, through audio, through videos, or whatever it is. You need to have an understanding of why your audience wants to buy, so that you can take advantage of that to pass your message across to them. That's what we call hitting the nail on the head. You are hammering the reason why they want to buy. So when you hammer the reason why they want to buy, they will resonate with your message and they will eventually buy from you. But imagine me that I want to make money and you're not telling me to come and buy your product that will help me to feel good. I don't want to feel good. I just don't want to go broke. So I will believe that message is not for me and I will go ahead and patronize someone who is selling a product that will help me to make more money. So that is how to know who you want to sell to. You see, I said before you think of making sales or skyrocketing your sales through content marketing, 3 things. I've just talked about one. That one is know who you want to sell to. Know to sell to, and how you want to sell to, you consider their demographic factor, you consider their geographic factor, you consider their psychographic factor. Very, very important. Very, very important. The second thing you need to consider, the number two thing you need to consider is know what they want to be sold. So now you've known who you want to sell to, know what they want to buy. Let me put it that way. Know what they want to buy. Know what they want to buy. Because you can have the right audience and be selling to them the wrong product. You can have an audience that can afford 50,000 naira at a go, but you are selling a different product to them. I've seen people that say that one of the reasons why I did not register for that course is because that course is too cheap. I don't believe it will be valuable and all of that. It's because you don't know what they want to buy. Some people don't want to buy your 1K offer. Some people want to buy an 100K offer, but you don't know because you've not made research. You don't know the income capability of your audience. So you are just putting 1K, 2K, you're just putting bonus worth 900K. The original price is 50,000 naira, but first 10 or first 50 will pay 1,500 naira. What's that? When you present the right product to the right audience, effortlessly you will make sales. Let me take that again. When you present the right product to the right audience, you will make sales effortlessly. It's not that somebody is in need of cold pure water, you're not putting hot tea in their presence. They will just look at, although they are both liquid, fine, but that's not what they want. So you need to know exactly what your audience wants. You need to consider their pain, their problems, and their desire. Until you present the right product to the right audience, making sales will be very hard. Until you do that, making sales will be very hard. So it is important to know what your audience wants to buy. It is important to carry out effective market research in such a way that you get to know that, okay, this is the pain they are going through, this is their problem, this is what is making them stay awake at night, this is what is making them go make research online and all of that. Because if you are trying to sell the wrong product, see, the equation to making sales is selling the right product to the right audience on the right platform. Let me take that again. Selling the right product to the right audience on the right platform is what makes sales. So the equation is P1 plus P2 plus P3 equals to sales. You understand? People, the right people, products, the right products, and platform on the right platform is what equals sales. That's what equals sales. So if you are selling although you can have the right audience, so selling the wrong product to them will make you lose out on sales. It's not possible. So I need you to understand that very well. So the third thing you need to consider before you start creating content, is what I just talked about, the platform. Know where you can get these products to your audience. Know where you can get these products to your audience. So now your audience are mostly found on TikTok. You know who your audience are. You know their problem. You've created a product or a service that helps them to solve their problem. But instead of you to go to TikTok, you now leave TikTok. You are going to Instagram to sell the products. You will struggle, my brother, my sister. You will truly struggle, and you'll be frustrated. And you will think that what you are selling is not working. You will think that you are not selling the right offer. This is why a lot of people change this offer like they're changing clothes. They change their offer every now and then. But most of the time, it's because you are selling the right offer on the wrong platform. You are selling the right offer on the what? On the wrong platform. So again, as a recap, before you start thinking of making sales, you understand? Before you start thinking of making sales, 3 things you must put into consideration. Number 1, know who you want to sell to. Number 2, know what they want to buy. Number 3, know where you can get to them. So I said the equation for sales is selling the right product to the right people on the right platform equals to sale. P1 plus P2 plus P3 equals to sales. So selling the right product to the right persons on the right platform is what equals to sales. So now that we have gotten this right, content marketing strategy. How can you leverage content marketing strategy to sell your product? You see, by the time you get these three things I mentioned, creating content becomes easy because now you know where your audience are, you know where they want to get to, and you have the step-by-step guide to ensuring that they get to where they are to where they want to get to. So creating content becomes easy. So the very first thing I want you to include in your content marketing strategy in 2022 is do video marketing. You see, let me tell you something. There was once upon a time, what used to sell more, what used to convert more was written content. People write and write and write, and people read it, and then they catch the emotions and all of that. After that, we went into the era of podcast and all of that audio form. But I can tell you, 2022 and beyond, video marketing is going to sell a lot. If you are camera shy, you better start learning how to stop being camera shy. Don't take your camera shyness to 2022. In 2022, do more of video marketing. Do more of video marketing. Okay, now let me give you an example. I don't think my Facebook post, my Facebook content has ever gotten to 400 likes before, maybe except on my birthdays or special gathering and all of that. 400 plus likes. But I went on a TikTok, and the first video I dropped on TikTok had 444 likes in less than 24 hours. 444 likes in less than 24 hours. You see, people are tired of reading your how to do this. I'm not saying those things don't work. They work, but scale them up with video marketing. People want to see the face behind the content they are reading. People want to see the face behind the voice they are reading. People want to know the brand. People want to really, there's this one-on-one connection, you understand, you get when you are relating with someone on video. So imagine this conference was made using text, and they asked you to go and read an ebook. To get to a point, you will sleep off. To get to a point, you will sleep off. You understand? So because what you really want to do in 2022 is to drive the attention to you. Because it is he that gets the most attention that makes the most money. It does not matter whether you are good or you are bad at what you do. It's painful, but it's the reality. I'm a very good content creator. Does not mean I will make money. If I'm good and the attention is not directed to me, if I'm good and people don't know me, my brother, my sister, it will be hard for me to make sales. So it is he that can drive attention to himself that makes the most sales. People that pay attention will pay you cash, and people that pay cash pays attention. So it's a two-way thing. So when people pay you attention, and what you are telling them, the content you are passing across, it resonates with them. Once they've given you their attention, which means they've given you their micro commitments. You understand? Once they've given you their micro commitments, they will definitely pay if they are your ID buyer. So it is your ability to direct attention to you, to yourself, that will help you in making more sales in 2022. So now, for example, your competitors are doing video marketing, they are doing content marketing, they are doing blog marketing, they are doing podcasting and all of that, and all you are doing is, I just want to post on Facebook, let me post on Facebook. If I post on Facebook today, I'll post on Facebook 3 times in a week. My brother, you are deceiving yourself. You are so deceiving yourself. Because people don't just want to read your content, people want to see your face. You see, the more let me say, as the year goes by, you understand, the level of distrust on the online space keeps getting more. Back then in the days, people easily trust, but now because of the advent of scams, Ponzi schemes, and all of that, people find it hard to trust. So before they deal with you, they want to see your face. They want to see your face, so that even if you scam them, when they see you outside one day, they'll be able to recognize that this is the guy that scammed me. So if you really want to make more, if you really want to build the KLT factor, if you really want people to trust you so much on the online space, you need to start doing video marketing. So maybe before now you don't know me, you don't know how I look as the content grandmaster. You seeing me now has created a kind of memory in your head that when they mention content grandmaster, you will remember that you saw me at Celebrate conference too. So when they ask you, do you know content grandmaster, you will not just say, I used to read his content, I used to follow him on. Yes, I know him. He's dark in complexion, he uses glasses, is this, is that. You see, if you want to build your know, like, and trust factor, because people buy from who they know, who they like, and who they trust. Yes. If they don't trust you, they won't buy for you. If they know you and they like you, they will just be commenting and got value. If they don't trust you, they will find it hard to part your money with. Yes. Because one thing is, especially if you're selling digital products, they are not seeing, a tangible format of what you're trying to give to them. So you're not telling them to come and pay you 50,000 naira to get a 3 days course or a 5 days course. If they don't trust you, they won't pay you. Nobody wants to waste money. And this is why you need to start creating video content. You need to add that. Number 2, content marketing strategy I want you to implement is to build omnipresence on the online space. Build omnipresence on the online space. What do I mean by building omnipresence on the online space? Let people be able to find you. I like using my daddy as an example whenever I'm talking about this. Go online, type the name Fortune Unamdi. Go to Google, just type Fortune Unamdi. You will see the first page and the second page is filled with Fortune Unamdi, which means if your name is Fortune Unamdi, you are already at a disadvantage because one Fortune Unamdi has taken all the space. He is found everywhere. Go to Fortune Unamdi on Facebook, he's dominating there. Go to Fortune Unamdi on LinkedIn, he's dominating there. Go to Fortune Unamdi on Google, he's dominating there. Go to Fortune Unamdi on Instagram, he's dominating there. So there is nowhere you want to get to, and you're looking for Fortune Unamdi that you're not finding. Some of us, we don't have presence online. We are just catching, we are just catching our presence online. So for example, if you really want to know who content grandmaster is, just go to Instagram. There is no content grandmaster on Instagram. Because I'm very active on Instagram does not mean when you get to my Facebook account, you will not find content there. Does not mean when you get to my LinkedIn, you will not find content there. Does not mean when you get to my Twitter, you will not find content there. Because you don't know. Some persons, where they will land and meet you first, might be on Twitter. So let's assume that there is no content on Twitter. How would they trust you? I know you should focus on one platform, pick 1 or 2 platforms, but that does not mean you should not be present on other platforms. That does not mean you should not be present on other platforms. Because you might be thinking that when somebody wants to find you, the first place they'll get to is your Instagram. It might not be. They might first start from Facebook. Maybe somebody told them that go and search for Yanolu Aile Summit Content Grandmaster on Facebook. And then you go to Facebook and you are seeing nothing. There's no content, nothing there. No. It won't work. It won't work. So how do you build omnipresence? Number 1, distribute content on your chosen platform. Be consistent with distributing content on your social media platform. So you are on Twitter. Let me tell you something. If you're on Twitter, posting 3 times a week is not enough. I think you need to understand this. Posting 3 times a week is not enough. Your competitors are posting every day. Some of them are even posting twice daily. And you're posting. See, it's not about doing your best. It's not about doing your best. I'll just do my best to be consistent. No, it's not about doing your best. It's about doing what is required. It is about doing what is needed of you. Sometimes what you think is your best is not up to what is required. So it's not about doing what is your best. I said that, see, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. The question is it your best that is needed here, or what is actually required of you? You want to skyrocket your sales, you post today, you come back after 2 weeks, and then you'll be asking who missed me. Nobody missed you. You are not Mississippi. We cannot miss you. You need to get that right. You need to distribute content consistently on your social media platform. Don't try to play the small mind game. Don't try to say, I'll be posting two times on Instagram. That's how I can do. Designing carousel is hard. I cannot be doing reels every day. I cannot go live. Please be consistent. Daily content. Because the truth of the matter is, when your audience needs to feed on content and they get to your platform and they are seeing old content there, it will be hard. They will go elsewhere. They will go to, you see, people gravitate towards where they are getting value. So if your own value is once in a blue moon value, I'm sorry, but the truth is, you will lose out. You will not make sales. So you do what? You create content consistently. Another thing is, come 2022, starting from now, promote your content. Let me explain this clearly. When I say promote your content, there are two ways of promotion. You have the organic and the inorganic. The inorganic is running Facebook ads, running Instagram ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, whatever it is. And I would advise you have a budget for that. Have a particular amount of money budgeted for running ads. Because the more people that sees your product, the higher your chances of making sales. The higher the number of people that see what you do and what you have to offer, the higher the number of sales you make. The higher the number of people that sees your products, the higher your chances of making more money. That's how it works. They are directly proportional. Understand? So if 100 persons is seeing your products, your chances of making money is 100. That is if everybody is going to buy. And let's just say just 10% to buy. So if 100 people are seeing your products and 10% buy, you make 10 sales. Now, what if 1,000 people are seeing your products? What if 1,000 people are seeing your products? Now, 1,000 people are seeing, you make 100 sales. What if 10,000 people are seeing your products? You make 1,000 sales. What if 1 million people are now seeing your products? You'll be making at least 100,000 sales. So imagine your product is 5,000 naira and 100 people are seeing it. So out of 100 people, 10 persons buy. That's 50,000 naira. But you ran ad of 5,000 naira and 500 persons sees it, and 10% of 500 buys. That is 250,000 naira. So the higher the number of people that sees your product, the higher your chances of making sales. So that is the inorganic. That is when you want to start running ads. Please put it in your budget. Have a particular amount for ads. You understand? I know you are into business. Treat what you do as business. Don't treat it as hustle. Hustle is for vultures. You are an eagle. It is vultures that are hustles, that are seafood on the ground, that sees food on. No, you are not a vulture. You are an eagle. You soar. You understand? And if you want to soar, you have to soar high than every other bird, which means you have to think ahead of your competitors. Understand? You have to. This month I'm running, or every week I want to be running 5K ads. You know, worst come to worst, I should run 3K ads because I want people to see my products. That's one of. See, let me give you an example of omnipresence. There was a time, or you can also testify to this, when you go to Facebook and you click on Sabisubi's ad, you are done for. So you go to Facebook, you click on Sabisumi's ad, it will tell you, hey, so I noticed you have not yet buy my book, this and that. Just go to Instagram, you will see the ad there. From Instagram, go to YouTube, you will see it there. It's not as if the guy is pushing you. That's omnipresent. So there's nowhere you turn to that you're not seeing. That's it. That is how it works. So you want to really promote your content in 2022. You want to really add content promotion to your 2022 content marketing strategy. I've talked about the inorganic. How do you do the organic? All of us, or virtually some of us here, we have previous customers, we have WhatsApp, or we have quite a number of people on our WhatsApp. I see some people, they upload something on their major platform, maybe on Facebook, and they don't even alert their WhatsApp audience to go and check it out. They are like, okay, my content is valuable, I'm the boss when it comes to content creation and all of that. No, they will not go. They will not go. So once you put step on your Facebook, crop out the link, using your copywriting skill, create a short caption, put it on your WhatsApp. Let your over 500 views, over 1,000 views on WhatsApp see it. Let's assume 20% of them goes to view it. That has increased your engagement on your major platform. And the higher the number of engagements you get, the higher your chance of being visible to other persons. That's how the social media algorithm works. If no one engages on your engagement will die immediately you create it, if no one engages. So when people engage on your content, when they should post content, the people that engage, social media or Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp shows, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter shows your content to those persons that commented on the previous post. So you really want to add content promotion. You want to add content promotion to your 2022 content marketing strategy. Another thing you need to do is to learn how to do content repurposing. Let me explain this. I think it was in June. I created a content, and after creating a content, I added a call to action for sales. Yeah. And that content brought about, I think, over 50 sales in, should I say, in 48 hours. Yes, over 50 sales in 48 hours. Then I thought to myself, wow, this works. So the next time I wanted to create another problem, I don't have to start thinking of the new content to brought. I just have to check what I did before. You understand? Then I repurposed it. So when we say content repurposing, for example, you've written an ebook before, and people love that ebook. People vibed well with that ebook. You don't have to start thinking of new content to create. Maybe you want to go live now. You don't have to start thinking of new content you want to create. Take out the table of contents in your ebook. Pick one table of contents for a day. Say you want to do, let's assume your book has 10 table of contents. 10 chapters. You can say you want to do a 10 days, you understand, a 10 days video challenge that you are going to be going live, and then you pick one chapter for a day. You don't have to create something new. Contents are around you. Repurpose them. So one of the things I did was 2 months ago, I created a podcast, The Ultimate Guide to Content Creation. About 1,000 persons have listened to that podcast. Fine, good. But I want to create an ebook on content creation. Does that mean I have to start from scratch? I might, but I don't have the time. So what do? I just get to transcribe my audio into ebook, because there are some persons that don't want to listen to an audio, but they want to read an ebook. So for example, now let's take, you want to sell an offer, and your offer is in audio format. Now let's assume that from that audio format, let's say your audio format is divided into 12 segments, and you've taken 12 audios. That is 12 segments. And now you want to do video live session for 12 days, you understand? And you now pick one chapter per day. You can package the recording, sell it out as a complement to your main offer. It will increase the perceived value of your offer. Very important. Very important. Very important. So my time is fast spent. I have just 10 more minutes. So let me just say one thing that you need to understand. Out of everything I've said, I need you to understand something. When it comes to content marketing, be ready to play the long-term game because it will require your discipline and your consistency. If you create content today and you come back in the next 5 days to create another one, you are not playing the game the way it should be played. And then you will be at the losing end because you will not make sales. It is he that can shout very well on the online space that makes the most money. If you are being reserved, they've told you not to shout. They've told you that it is empty barrel that makes noise. My brother, on the online space, it's not empty barrel that makes noise. It is not empty barrel that makes noise on the online space, no. No one wants to know whether you're empty barrel or not. If you are making noise, if you are making the most noise on the online space, people will pay you. So it's not about I'm very good at what I do. It's about how many people know that you are good at what you do. If you are the only one, and if it is only you and your inner circle members that knows that you are good at what you do, then it is only your inner circle member that will be buying from you. And I'm very sure you don't have inner circle member of up to 5,000 persons. So which means on average you cannot be making up to 500 sales per month. It's only your inner circle that knows you. If it's only your 1,000 WhatsApp viewers that knows you, which means that your income range is limited by that number of people that knows you. So now, here's my advice for you. Come 2022, apart from creating content consistently, generate new leads consistently. Generate what? New leads consistently. The money is in the numbers. Money is a game of numbers. The money is in the numbers. Yes, the money is in the numbers. If you can make it a goal to get at least 100 or 200 new leads per day. So personally, one of my goals is that at least in a month, 5,000 persons must know about the brand content grandmaster. I don't know how you want to happen. Well, at least 5,000 new persons, not people that knows me before. 5,000 new persons must know about the brand content grandmaster come 2022. When you have this means that by the end of 2022, 60,000 persons would have known about the content grandmaster, and I'm very sure it's going to be more than that. Because if I do 5,000 this month, I won't want to do 5,000. I want to increase. So, aside from creating content consistently, another thing you need to do, you need to put at the back of your mind, you need to really, really put into consideration is to generate this. Because of what use is your content if it is being shown to the same audience every now and then? Of what use is your content? Of what use is your content if new people are not seeing it? Of what use is your content if it is the only 500 persons on your WhatsApp status that is viewing it? So you need to have that at the back of your mind. So quickly, as a recap of everything I've said, before you start creating content, before you start saying this is my content marketing strategy, know who you are to sell to. And how do you know who you are to sell to? Consider their demographic factor, their geographic factor, and their physiographic factor. Number two, know what they want to be sold. Consider their pain, their problems, and their desire. And number three, know where you can get them. So when all of this has been put in place, put video marketing, build omnipresence on your online space, promote your content, distribute your content, let people know you, and get as much as new persons to get to know you, maybe on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis. I need you to understand, it is not about doing your best. It is about doing what is required. It's about doing what is expected. There's a price to pay. It's about paying that price, not about doing the best. It is not about paying your own price. It's about paying the price needed for the success you need or you want in 2022. So I'm going to be stopping here tonight. If you have any question, kindly drop your question. Kindly drop your question if you have any question. I want to see if there's any question so that I can. Is there something you would love me to talk about? Is there any concern you have about content? Is it that I don't know how to create your content? Whatever it is, let me know, because I can't actually exhaust you the subject of content marketing in 1 2 hours. You have to be doing something like 6 7 hours. Yeah. So, any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question?
Thank you very much, the content grandmaster himself. All right, there's a question. Let me just display it. So
All right, all right.
the
How can
question is
I
asking,
create?
how can I create different kinds of content for different days for my audience?
Awesome. I love that questions. I'm sorry, I love that question. I love that question rather. Okay, so you want to create different kind of content for different days for your audience. So first thing is you need to know your content pillars. You need to know your content pillars. So what do I mean by content pillars? What do you want to be talking about? So for example, um, I'm into content creation, but my content pillars are content creation, sales and marketing, and personal development. So that's my three pillars. My three pillars. So now I've known my three pillars, and now I want to distribute these three pillars to 6 times in a week. So Monday to Saturday, I'm creating content. So my Monday, just as you know, Monday most times is for motivation. People are looking for motivation on Monday. So on Mondays, I can give that my personal development. You understand? I can create content as regards the personal development pillar. You understand? On Tuesday, I can talk about content marketing. On Wednesday, I can talk about sales. On Thursday, talk about motivation. On Friday, talk about content marketing. On Saturday, talk about sales. Now, let me give you how I do it mine now. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I talk about content creation. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I talk about content creation. On Tuesdays, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you see me on my Facebook talking about personal development, talking about how you can become a better version of yourself. You understand? And mostly on Saturdays, I do my offers, I sell my products, and all of that. So once you know your content pillars, you now distribute your content pillars across the number of days you want to be creating content. And if you are somebody that is very, very aggressive towards marketing, you can create three. If your content pillars are three, create three contents per day. If you can, if you can. First, in the morning on Monday, create content on personal development. In the afternoon on Monday, create content on content marketing. In the evening, create content on sales. So for you to create different kind of content for different kind of days, you need to know your content pillar. Then you allocate each content pillar for a particular day. The idea is not to confuse your audience. That's why you see some people will have money Mondays. So which means that on Monday they are talking about money. On number two, on Tuesday they can say productivity hacks. You understand? On Wednesday they can say they are talking about sales tips. You understand? So people name it different kind of things. For example, now Expertnaire on Friday, you know the kind of content they create. It's payday Friday. On Friday, the only content expert now creates on Friday is screenshot of people that receive payments, payment day, and all of that. So the idea is not to confuse your audience. Some people use on so there's someone that does okay, you will know. If you know Prof Emmanuel Akwe does something every Tuesdays and Thursday, value half hour. Every Tuesday and Thursdays, value half hour. John Obidi, although he creates content and all of that, but Fridays are for what? Night schools. Understand? So when you know your content pillar and what you're bringing to the table, you allocate each day to each content pillar. I think I've answered that question.
Yeah, you've answered that question. That question. I'm even writing. I'm writing a lot of things. I think
Thank
Jerusalem
you.
has asked another question. He said, concerning
Okay.
the KO factor, how do I achieve this with content marketing?
All right. Let me explain this. There is something we call stages of consciousness. Maybe that's not what it's called generally, but I call it stages of consciousness. I think people call it buyer's journey, something like that. I call it stages of content, stages of consciousness. The number one stage is the awareness stage. Number two stage is the interest stage. Number three stage is the consideration stage. Number four stage is the intent stage. Number five stage is the evaluation stage before the conversion where they ultimately buy. Let me now break it down. If you don't know me before, if you don't know me before, and it is this live session, you are getting to know me. With this kind of thing, with the things I've said now, with this training I've held and this teaching I've held, automatically you've gone through the awareness stage. You already know me. You already have interest in what I'm doing. You understand? You already know that I'm an authority at what I do. So now, how do you build know, like, and trust? There are various kind of content you need to be creating for you to build know, like, and trust for your audience. So for example, an audience that is just getting to know you, if the only thing that person is seeing on your WhatsApp status is alert, 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 and alert, and alert, and alert, the person might think you are a scam. Yes, considering the generation we are in, the person might think you are a scam. But let's assume that this person is just getting to know you. Let's say somebody said this person is just getting to know you, and on your bio, this person that I am a sales funnel builder. The person asks this question, I am a sales funnel builder. And the very first content this person is going to read on your page, or the content that this person finds on your page, is maybe tutorials on how to build an e-commerce sales funnel, tutorials on how to build an affiliate marketing sales funnel, what exactly is sales funnel, what's the difference between sales funnels and landing pages. This person will be like, wow, this guy knows a lot, this guy knows a lot, this guy is very good at what he does. So it all boils down to the kind of content you are creating. So what are the kind of content you need to create to achieve the KLT factor? Number one kind of content is your personal stories, your grass to grace stories. So for example, you don't know who Iyanolu Ailesomi is, but you went to my Instagram, and part of the content you see there is how I got the name Content Grandmaster. You want to read it. You want to read it. You want to read the fact that I didn't start out as a content creator. In fact, I started out confused. I started out as a mindset coach. From a mindset coach, I went to productivity coach. From productivity coach, I went to different kind of coach before I settled down for content creation. You understand? So you want to read all of that. You want to know that I didn't just stumble. I didn't just come from nowhere and start calling myself Content Grandmaster. You want to know that me being called Content Grandmaster was not a name I coined from my head. It was a name people gave me as a result of the content I'm putting out there. So now you've read that. So when they ask you who is Content Grandmaster, you'll not be scratching like that. Content Grandmaster, who is that guy? Content. You already know my story, and you can say that story out there. So you build the know factor. So now, if you now go to, you are now scrolling again, on my Instagram, and you see where I'm debunking myths on content creation. You are seeing where I'm telling you the VRR formula to content creation, the FMC formula, and you're like, wow, this guy really knows a lot. Automatically you begin to like me that, wow, this guy's messaging is nice. You understand? So the first kind of content is personal story. The second kind of content is authority content. Authority content that positions you as an authority, content that when people read, people be like, this guy is hot, in my body, Go to Oga Festus, Sir Festus Instagram now. You will see email marketing tips series, part 1, part 2. You just be like, bust my brain. This is, that's authority kind of content. That's the second kind of content. The third kind of content to build the trust factor is the credibility content. credibility content. So now you're now scrolling, you now begin to see what people are saying about me, that content grandmaster, when I met content grandmaster, my content creation game changed. When I met content grandmaster, I began making 6 figures on the online space. You be like, wow, this guy is really good, that's how you build it. Learn how to toggle your content in creating your personal stories content, authority building content, and credibility building content. So I can call that, let me call it the PAC content formula for building know, like, and trust. You understand? The PAC content formula for building know, like, and trust. So personal stories, authority building content, and credibility building content. Have I answered that question? Awesome.
Thank you very much. The content grandmaster himself. It's not just in the name. He's showing the value. My book is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us in this section tonight. Don't go anywhere. Don't go very far from your phone. Our next session will be with Coach Kenny Okoye, and it's going to be 9 p.m. tonight. You don't want to miss the value that you have actually gotten. You don't want to miss anything. So thank you very much, the content grandmaster, on behalf of Otimin Nandi. And thank you guys for being. So we'll be back by 9 p.m. Don't go far away from your phone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If you do not have capacity to execute all of those things I've mentioned, they amount to almost nothing. So what am I saying? It's high time we began to build capacity.
I went from making $24 in my first 11 months as an online entrepreneur to earning over $4,000 in 7 months.
It was one of the lessons I learned that was really, really, really touching. You are the only constant thing you have.
So the first step to becoming extraordinary is to develop coping skills. How you